Well, the coronavirus has changed just about everything normal that we used to do, especially when it comes to work and school. The kitchen table has replaced office and school desks. There are challenges to remote working and learning, and in our Eye on Education segment this week, we look at best practices when it comes to operating at home with home as home base with 1150 Academy Chief Education Officer Dr. Jonathan Huer. And Jonathan, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
First of all, 1150 Coding Academy that has been churning out some great graduates for the last number of years. Give us basically the thumbnail model at 1150.
Yeah, at 1150, we typically use a high-touch model where we teach all of the basic coding skills you need to get an entry-level job or all the cybersecurity skills you need to get an entry-level job in 12 weeks. So it's an incredibly intense experience, and it's been interesting replicating that experience online.
Yeah, I was going to say, you have experienced it firsthand going to the remote. Talk about that process.
Yeah, we saw this coming a couple weeks ago, and so when it was apparent that we needed to make the shift, we took a half-day pause, shifted everything over, and now we've been able to redo this in the online environment, and we get better at it every day. I think that something that's important to remember is we have a really good, very digitally fluent staff, and so it was a lot easier for us than it was for some other schools and districts and universities.
We'll talk about that and some of the things that folks should be thinking about, because you've got businesses on the one hand who have gone to a remote strategy, some bigger companies, maybe a lot more of a seamless transition, but families with young people, kids at home, learning online. A lot of challenges, a lot of new things to kind of grapple with.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the hardest things, for parents who may not be familiar with this is figuring out the difference between, are they struggling with the technology? Are they trying to make the connection? Are they trying to find the right button? Or are they actually struggling in learning, because learning is struggling many times, and you have to go slower, faster, different ways. And so as everybody adapts to this new way of learning, it's difficult to figure out, is it an internet connection or is there a legitimate problem?
And as we were talking off camera too, you point out there really are a lot of resources that are available out there.
Yes, yeah, this is not a new thing. It's new to a lot of people, but it's not a new endeavor. Adobe has the Adobe Education Exchange for educators, so there's lesson ideas, there's plans, there's tons of stuff. Apple Swift is a great way to self-learn, so Apple Swift Playgrounds is great. I encourage people to check it out. And then, of course, as everybody just goes through this, we're offering our own boot camp next week online so that people can learn HTML and CSS. And just really take advantage of this opportunity to learn. The resources are out there for everyone involved. We just all have to be a little nice to ourselves.
Yeah, and maybe this could be one of the few silver linings to this really awful situation, but more and more people getting comfortable with remote learning. I noted just 16% of college students were taking exclusively online courses as of 2017, but that number is probably going to continue to go up.
Yeah, and if you think about it right now, it feels like 100% are.
Yeah, right,
so
right.
That's 85% of both teachers and students that are all having to learn in this brand new way. And I think that a lot of people find that it is more challenging to learn remote, but the reality is there's good online classes and there's good distance classes, just like there's good in-person classes. So what everyone's got to do is they have to figure out how to learn in these new ways. Now, that being said, as we move forward to the future, move past our current crisis and struggle, it's a real opportunity for everyone to find all of these great resources that are out there for skill development and really have a way to continue the actual practice of lifelong learning instead of just saying, oh yeah, I'm a lifelong learner.
Yeah.
No, there's great resources out there now online, and I think everybody's, instead of binging Netflix, binge LinkedIn Learning or binge some of these other things that are out there.
Right, great perspective on e-learning and remote work at home. Dr. Jonathan Huer is Chief Learning Education Officer at 1150 Academy. Jonathan, thanks as always.
Thank you.
All right.